Hi, I'm Dana, and this is a little video demo of the Halloween board game that I created for Smart Notebook. And this is an interactive yet content generic board game, so this can be used with really any content area just to add a little bit of Halloween flavor to whatever material you happen to be teaching or reviewing. It's also super easy to implement, really doesn't require a lot of prep. You don't have to go and type in any questions, and I'll show you a little bit more about that as we move along here. Now, I created this for middle school, but I really think it would be appropriate for upper elementary as well, maybe even high school level if your students are game for something a little bit different. So it probably is worth mentioning that you need to have Smart Notebook software installed on your computer in order for this activity to work for you. All right, so this is the slide that you see when you first open up the file. On the second slide here, I have some copyright information just to let you know how you can share this with other teachers. And I also have my email address here for you. So if you have any questions at all or need some help troubleshooting something, please feel free to shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. On the third slide, I'm acknowledging all the awesome artists that contributed work to this game. And on the fourth slide, I have a little recap of the instructions as well as a link to this video, just in case a reminder would be helpful. Now the fifth slide is the actual board game. This is really the only slide that you need to show your students. This is what I would have on display when my students come in the room. I would go ahead and divide my class into teams. You can have up to 10. Because if you scroll down here, you'll see that there are 10 game pieces that they can choose from to represent their team. So divide the class into teams, call them up to choose their game pieces, and all they do is just drag the game pieces they want up to the start space. And you'll probably get some squabbling over who gets to be what game piece, but that's just the way it goes. And they don't have to be in order or all lined up or anything. I'll just put them here like this so you can see and they can overlap. That's fine. So once every team has a game piece, go ahead and scroll up. You don't need that little pane, that little yellow window pane down there anymore. At this point, I would go ahead and assign a task to each team. Now, this is where the beauty of this game really comes in because there are so many different ways that you can assign tasks. When I originally designed this type of game, I had my task cards in mind. As a middle school math teacher, I was just up to my ears in task cards and looking for a new way to use them, and this came to mind. But as we started playing this game, I figured out that actually I didn't even need my task cards. Really, this works well for worksheets or even questions that are presented verbally. So this is really, there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of different possibilities for customizing this into a format that's going to work well for your content area and your particular group. One thing that I really love to do in math is, we really need to differentiate at the middle school level. So I like to put my teams, I like to create homogeneous groups with my teams so that I can give each team tasks that are appropriate to their instructional level. But you could also just give everybody the same question. That's fine. So give each team a question, however you want to do that. And when they feel like they have their response ready, they call you over to check. And if it's correct, then they get to roll the die. And they just tap on it to roll it. Okay, so let's say the alien team rolled a 3. Well, they're just going to advance their alien 3 spaces there. Okay, and get back to work, go back to their table, their desks, and start working on their next task. Let's say, meanwhile, the ghost team finished a task, and so they get to roll they rolled a 1, they move up 1 space. And then the monster team calls you over, and they're correct. They also roll a 1, so they can share a space right here. Okay. So they go back to work on another task, and Spider Team is now ready for you to check their work. So one of the cool things about this game is that you don't have 20 kids sitting around idle waiting for 4 kids to finish a task. They're all engaged at the same time, working at their own pace. There's a racing element going on here, and so teams are really motivated to stay on task and answer their question as quickly as they can. In fact, what I sometimes do when they get a little bit too quick is I'll start sending them back, having them roll the die to go backwards if they give me an incorrect answer if I think they're rushing. But that's completely optional. Another option is if a team lands on the boo space, like let's say the skull and crossbones does here, you can tell them to go back to start if they land on boo. They'll certainly groan about it. The other teams will get a big kick out of it, so that's just up to you. Anyway, they're all working at the same time. They're racing to complete their tasks. The goal is to move around the path here until you reach the haunted house. And in my classroom, when kids reach the end, they get a prize. Certainly for Halloween, you know, I think about candy, but it could be, you know, a homework pass, or be the first one to leave class, or go to the front of the lunch line, or you know, whatever kind of rewards you feel is appropriate, or even no reward at all. Just the intrinsic fun of winning. If they get to the end and you still have time left at the end of class, just send them back to start and have them continue playing until you run out of time. So that's really it. That's the game. When your class finishes the game, one thing that you'll probably want to do is come over to the slide here and click on that little arrow and just reset the page. And then confirm that you want to reset the page, and that'll put it back the way that it was before you started playing, so that it'll be ready to play next time. All right, so your other alternative there is to close the file, and when it asks you if you want to save changes, just click no. No. If you forget to do both of those things, you end up what you'll end up saving is a copy of the file where you have game pieces around here, and you can just go back the next time you open the file and just delete those game pieces, because they are infinitely cloned down here, so they'll still be here for you next time. You could just delete the ones that were left on the game board, so no harm done. All right, so I think that just about covers it. Don't forget to follow me if you'd like to have notification. Anytime I post new products, I put them up for half off during the first 48 hours, so you can get emails to notify you when I put something new up. Also, if you have time, please leave me some feedback and let me know how this went over in your class. I'd love to hear about how what your kids thought about it. If you enjoyed playing this game and you'd like some others, I do have another version. My original version is just a generic theme so that you can use it any day. And there's also a fun whack-a-mole game up at my store for Smart Notebook that your students my students certainly enjoy. I hope yours will too. Anyway, shoot me an email if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.